So how do you find new people to follow you? So this is another question from our Inner Circle team because they want to know, like, how do you actually find people to not only follow you, but probably to go through the process, and whether it's to make a sale, to make a connection, whatever that looks like. It's time to redefine leadership. Welcome to Modern Leadership, where we see things differently. Our channel is all about empowering entrepreneurs like you to achieve the next level of success in business and life. We believe that you can create a massive impact in the world without compromising your personal life or family time to do so.
We're committed to providing you with actionable tips and strategies weekly to make that possible. So if you're ready to become a modern leader and make a lasting difference in the world, consider subscribing, turn on notifications, and dive into our community. We want to thank you for being here because the world needs your leadership now more than ever. Let's go.
Now, I do want to rephrase this a little bit because somebody asked, how do you find new people to follow you? All right. And one of the things I want to call out to is we want to get very specific of what we really want. Okay. Because if we want new people to follow us, we could just run around streaking on the street and new people are going to find us and they're going to find us probably in jail. Right. So yeah, I don't know where my brain went with that, but it's like, you got to get very specific of like, why do you want people to follow you? Oh, because I want to like be able to connect with more people. Okay. Is your goal just to connect with more people? Because I can put you in an environment to connect with 1 million people and never sell anything. Or is your goal to actually be able to help impact them, to change their life, have them work with your business, and get them to take whatever that next step is, right? So when it comes to these questions, we want to make sure that we reframe them in a way that helps us find out what exactly we want. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because otherwise, if you say, I just want people to follow me, you're going to have people following you and going, what's wrong with this? And you're like, well, no, that's what you said that you wanted, right? Mm-hmm. So I wanted to like really dive in there. I know it's a little aggressive, but
careful what you wish for type.
100%. So let's think about this. Mindset, tactics, and accountability. So when we think about, let's frame this up a little bit. And I'm not 100% sure exactly what this person was looking for, but when you think about like how to find new people to follow you, we have a lot of people in our success pods and one-on-one programs, and they talk a lot about like, how do I find more of the right people to be able to help, to be able to coach, to be able to sell my program or product to, so that I can help inspire them and make a huge impact in their life, right? So when you think about like, how do you find new people to follow, what comes up for you? Like, let's start with mindset wise.
Well, I think you already went over that. It's kind of like reframing that thought of, well, first off, knowing what it is that you want, mm-hmm. and then going from there. Because, we could tell someone how to find people to follow them, but is that really going to help them? And I think you already went over that. So it's really kind of defining and reframing or rewriting that question, or maybe just kind of looking at it from a different perspective.
I like it. I think when you think about like finding new people to follow you, like being able to identify what you really want is important, right? Mm-hmm. But also I feel like there's a piece missing of what kind of impact do you want to make in their lives? Like, what do you want to help these people do so that not only they can win, but you can win too, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we all have businesses here, and businesses are there to solve people's problems. And it's not just there to help you grow your business and secure your family, even though that's important. It's not just there to help other people and then, you give it for free as a charity, even though that's equally important. It's a matter of like figuring out, how do we help everybody win? And when you can approach it with like, it's going to be a win-win, now you can start figuring out like, who are my people that I want to be able to help, right? Let's talk about step number 2, which is finding the right people to like connect with. Okay, so when I think about finding the right people to connect with, we do this with our clients where we take them through not only what their core values are, what's near and dear to them, what's most important to our clients, right? What are some of the things that they've been through that they would love to be able to help other people through, some of the challenges, some of the struggles that they've been through, some of the things they've been able to accomplish, right? And then like what makes them, like whether it's a pain in the world that they see that they want to be able to solve, or what makes them come to light. Like when they're doing something, the time just flies by and you just, before you know it, you're like, oh my God, I forgot to eat today, right? And so when we think about those kind of things and how they work in synergy, when you're doing things that are in alignment with your values, right? Like for us, family, right? Yeah. Family, impact, connection, that kind of stuff. Like we're not going to work our business to the point where we don't have connection with our family anymore. It's just out of alignment. We have to make sure that our business and our family work in synergy and they make each other stronger, not pull away from it, right? That's why it's critical to really find out those things. But once you do, then it's just a matter of communicating those things, whether it's through social media, through conversations, through emails, through videos, through podcasts, right? It's like, I want people to know what I stand for, right? What my values are, what I can do to help them, what my story looks like, and that I'm a regular person and I make mistakes just like they do. And when you do that, what you put out attracts. So if you put out, let me say, for example, and this is a problem that some of our clients used to have is like, you put out like, this is the easiest business ever. Like, it's just going to be so easy. Like, it's just totally duplicatable. And like, you won't have to hardly do anything. And you can have my life where you just work 2 hours a day. And then before you know it, you find a bunch of people who are lazy who aren't willing to do it. And I don't feel like it's even like you find lazy people. It's just you find people who signed up to be lazy because you told them that that's what they got, right? But if you start communicating in a way of like, this is a beautiful life, but it takes work. It takes action. It takes energy. It takes willingness to not only do it when you feel comfortable, when you feel uncomfortable. You may have less people raise their hand, but when you do have those people raise their hand, they're going to be more likely to reach out and to connect with it and then take action and show up the way they need to show up. And because you're leading with your values, you're actually going to naturally repel people who don't have those values and pull in people who do. Let me give you a perfect example. So Grant Cardone is a certain type of beast, right? He is a work your face off, 10x everything that you're doing and take massive action, which works, right? And for some people, that's the greatest thing ever. But that doesn't synergize with what we do, right? What we do is not put 10x effort into this and sacrifice from another area of our life. We ask ourselves, how can we excel at it all? Not to the point where we're only giving it all in this one area, right? And so naturally, if he's talking about 10x, he's going to find a whole bunch of people who are like, yes, let's go out. Let's have 80-hour work weeks. Let's do all this stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. It just doesn't work for us in our lifestyle. And we don't teach that because we want to make sure that we attract family-driven business leaders and leaders just in general, right? And so if we talk about that, we're going to attract that. But if like for some reason Grant Cardone talks about that and we come across his news feed, we're going to be like, that's awesome, not for us, right? And so it kind of repels us. So I guess in the entirety here, what comes up when it comes to the tactics is identify what your values are, what you want to be able to achieve and who you want to be able to help. Share your story, share that you're human, and you will, especially if your language or your message is not just calling out to people who are just don't want to take action. You're very specific about that. You're going to start attracting more of the right people and less of the wrong. But the truth is, and my mentor taught me this, is like, even when you call it to the high performers, some of the low performers will come. Yeah. It's just the nature of the beast. And there's nothing wrong with either high or low performers. It's just a matter of you verbalizing it and you making sure that you're spending your time and your energy where it can best be spent. So that's what I would say about tactics is to know who you are, to put it out in the world, to put your stake down. Because if you don't say that you're one way or the other, like nobody's going to know if they should stand behind you or not, right? And knowing you're going to repel certain people and pull certain people in is an important part of the process. Hey, it's Mark. Are you feeling stuck in balancing your business, your family life, and your health? I get it. It can be overwhelming. That's why I want to offer a free, no pressure call to help you get to the root of what's actually holding you back. When I discovered what was really holding me back, it helped me create a framework and a map to go out and create the business and life that I truly wanted. And I want to offer that to you for free. Together, we'll create a personalized plan to help you excel in the areas that are most important to you in life. Apply now for the free call. The link is below in the description. And let's take the first steps towards transforming your life. Now, let's get back into the show. Accountability. How do we get people to show up and to take action so they can go out there and start finding new people?
Yeah, this is, talking about environment, surrounding yourself with people who have similar values as you too. It's just like how you were talking about, like, you're either repelling people or you're bringing people in. So the people that you surround yourself with, that's what you're going to expand on. So if you have your set of core values and they have the same values, then you're going to stay within those values. And everything that you do, whether it's at getting people to follow you or, your business practices or whatever, or even your own health, that's going to remain the same. It's going to grow because you're surrounded by other people just like that.
Yep. The thing that I use when it comes to like accountability to get me to show up is to make sure that I'm connecting with a mentor who's maybe a few steps ahead of me in this realm. Because what I'll often do is I'll start convincing myself, like for example here, as a leader, it's our responsibility to go out and to find people who are going to be other leaders that we're going to be able to develop. Sitting back and waiting for a post or a social media or a video for somebody to come forward and just magically appear is not the answer, right? I mean, we even put like call to actions here in these videos, right? Talking about like whether it's our certification or how people can apply to work with us, all that great stuff. But if we don't have an avenue of reaching out to people, we're going to minimize the number of people because people just aren't watching videos and posts and stuff to like sign up for things, right? And even though they might be inspired in that moment. So I can convince myself to take a step back and to not do some of that stuff. But if I have a mentor who's a few steps ahead of me and he's like, you know what? I think you should probably reach out to people. I think you should probably send some emails. I think you should probably put some call to actions out there. I think you should probably have a way of communicating and connecting with people on Zoom or Marco Polo or whatever. It kind of pushes me to think outside of my comfort zone, and it gets me to exponentially increase my business, but also help even more people, right? Because I'm not just settling for where I'm at. So, I mean, that's why we highly encourage people all the time to find a group, to find a mentor, to find somebody who's a few steps ahead of you so they can help guide you along in that process.